Hey everyone, thank you so much for dialing in to our Fast Track to Executive call. Oh my goodness, week 12. I still feel like it was just week 1 and we were in Janny's suite at Celebration trying to figure out how we were going to do this. But what an honor and treat the last 12 weeks have been. And I just want to kick off the call really to celebrate and acknowledge the mess out of some people who are just killing it. So let's start with Team Jessica, Kelly Small, Denise Wiggins, Aaron Parker, Shannon Kane, Ashley and Joe Noel, Mary Cook, Anne Marie, Chelsea Quimlet, and Aubrey Quimlet were all at UIA, drinking in the Genius and glowing. Bonnie nailed Crystal Manager. So many team members are stepping up, bringing people to Super Saturday. Cindy is bringing a carload to make it happen. I can just picture that clown car of ICE people cruising down to the event. So I love that. Way to go, you guys. And Janny, oh my goodness. So Tammy and Larry enrolled 2 new members. Tana Webb and Laura and Joanna all enrolled last week. Joni Allen led her team at the Rod Harrison event and celebration. And you guys, I'm so excited that she is going to lead our call tonight. And Miss Betsy's team, hold on, I think she sent it to me in a different thread. Betsy, where'd you send your recognition? Privately? I got it. So 3 new consultants, Cynthia, Tina, and Mary all went consultant. Congratulations for Susan for double PIBs, 4 enrollment, and the 5-cycle bonus. That's a killer week. All of these people had double PIBs, Sandy, Noel, and Cynthia. And Sandy's team is growing, rocking her weekly Zoom calls, and 12 are headed to Phoenix ICU. Whoop, whoop. And then in Team Lauren, Renelli, who's not here, who should be showing at my house soon, just went Crystal Manager. Brandy Joe, Lauren Feichter, Ilma Lopes, Chad Kelly, and Liberty Lowe all went consultant. Top cyclers, Keesa Maxwell, Laura Laurie, Jen Miller, Rachel Mayer, Megan Sweeney, and Jen Feichter. And we've got just under 30 people going to Phoenix ICU. We are so pumped. We're so fired up. So we're going to get rocking and rolling with week 12. And I am excited to introduce someone who is not only a rock star on this team, she's a 1-star Crystal Executive, 3-star Golden Circle. She's a part of Start 1000, but she's also one of my closest friends and just a true asset to this team. So Keesa Maxwell, will you kick us off with our product training?
Hi, of course.
Hi.
Thanks for having me on and that great introduction, Lauren. I appreciate it. Okay, so I'm really excited to talk about our Spotlight product because I'm a former diet rockstar addict. Before I started Isogenics, that was my drink of choice daily to get me that little boost of energy, but little did I know that it was pretty terrible for me. So I got the e-shots, and they're now one of my favorite products. So there is no jittery feeling or crash like with other energy drinks. It is naturally caffeinated. It's 2 ounces of an energy shot, and it's derived from yerba mate and green tea. Because we do not compromise in the quality of our products, there are no artificial ingredients, sweeteners, colors, flavors. It's sweetened naturally with fruit juices. They're also soy-free, gluten-free, and dairy-free, and they're only 35 calories each. They're made with a proprietary blend of 10 different adaptogenic herbs. And some of the benefits are helps fight fatigue, it enhances your mood, it increases mental alertness and clarity and stamina, and it also aids in recovery. Because of the adaptogens in this product, it also increases your body's ability to cope with internal and external stresses. And I think everyone, especially with the holidays approaching, could really use a little help with coping with stress and a little boost in energy. It's also great on a cleanse day. I'm cleansing today, and it can be used with our performance products as well. I use one before every workout. I also love refrigerating them and then drinking them cold. I think they're great that way if you have an issue with the taste, but I love them. I think they taste great. So you can get them as a 6-pack in your back office or a 12-pack. I actually did the math because there's a e-shot starter pack in the back office. It's 185 BV, and if you get the starter pack, it ends up being about 50 cents each less for the e-shots. You save about $50 getting that versus getting the individual packs. And one last thing that is great to mention is that Isagenix donates 50 cents for each box of e-shots purchased to the Make-A-Wish Foundation. So just one more reason to love them even more than we already do. So that's all I've got for you. You're muted, Lauren.
I know, because I'm waiting for Jess.
Oh.
But maybe she's muted.
Hi,
Hi, Jess.
yes, I am. Hello. I'm unmuted. Am I stuck? Am I frozen?
No, you're good. Keep going.
I'm good? Okay.
We
I
love
am.
you.
Okay, cool. Awesome. If you can hear me, that's fabulous. All right, guys. So I am super excited. You know how when you meet someone way deep down in your downline and you go, wow, that person is a light. This person is just fired up about life. She could have told me to buy any product, any food, told me about any restaurant or book, and I would have been like, I'm going, I'm getting it, I'm eating it, I'm buying it now, because she's just a fired up person. She has so much passion and it oozes out of her. And I'm so excited to introduce Kelly Small. She's a rocket ship business right now. In the last 6 weeks, she has gone, I've watched this girl go have a launch party, have so many people that feel that same energy about her, do other launch parties, cast the vision with people, go from crystal manager to crystal director to crystal executive, kill the director pools. And now I'm waiting to see how exciting it's going to be in the crystal executive pools. But the biggest thing about Kelly is that she went on faith to UIA, jumped on a plane with a buddy pass and got to UIA. So with further ado, Kelly, I'm so grateful that you were able to share with us about belief. Can you hear me?
We can hear you. She just might be muted. Kelly,
Yeah, Kelly, it looks like you're muted.
Let me unmute. Can you hear me now?
we can.
Hi, everyone. How are you? My name is Kelly Small, like Jessica said, and I am going to be talking about the belief system tonight. I just returned from UIA in Charlotte, and it was an amazing experience. I mean, such an incredible weekend. If you're not familiar with the belief system, it consists of 5 areas. It's your belief in the company, your belief in the product, your belief in the compensation plan, in network marketing, and your belief in yourself. In the beginning of the weekend, we were asked on a scale of 1 to 10 to rank our beliefs in each area. And I'm so sorry, I wrote this down because I'm super nervous. So I'm reading. I didn't realize at the beginning of the weekend how important this truly was. My belief in the company and in network marketing were a 10. And after a week of using the products, my belief was definitely a 10. I mean, the products are just absolutely amazing and have changed my life. I strongly believed in the compensation plan. However, I just never believed that I would be somebody who could make that kind of money. I mean, I saw the evidence and, you know, have heard all of these amazing people talk about it, but I just didn't believe that it could happen to me. So as you can imagine, my belief in myself was pretty low. And so when we ranked that area, I ranked that at about a 5. This made me realize that in order for me to become truly successful, I needed to do something about that. I needed to believe in myself and believe that I am worthy and capable of making that kind of money with this kind of compensation plan. That's not something that's easy or that you can just automatically change. It made me think, like, if you don't have a strong belief in yourself, how can anybody else believe in you? So I'm so beyond excited to share that after the weekend, my needle had gone from a 5 to a definite 8, possibly a 9. And it's just crazy to think how a short 48 hours could totally change your life and your thinking. And I am just so excited to see where the next few weeks takes me. So, thank you so much.
Awesome. Thank you, girl. Jenny, you there? Jenny, are you muted? Betsy, do you see Jenny? She was on, right? Oh, she's like frozen.
She's just blurry.
No, I see her too.
Are you there?
Oh. We can see you, but we can't hear you, gorgeous.
Speak.
You're muted, Jenny. Oh. We can't hear you. She just said, what the heck? I can read your lips.
Before.
Danny, you want me to intro Erik and you can log out and come back in? Or do you want to? Nope. I can read your lips, but we can't hear you. Hi, you guys. Just give us like 1 second because this will be really, really special. But I don't think we've had a call without some type of IT, which is great when we have 200 people calling in from around the globe. So she'll be right back. She'll be excited. I text her. Betsy or Jess, did she say anything to you guys yet? Erik, you're like dying at the bit to talk. Did you have an e-shot before this? You're probably like jittered. But she's going to have something really special for you. So we have to wait for this. Not every day you get the Women of the Year of Isogenics to introduce like the son of the founders of the company. So we all have to eagerly, patiently wait for this. Beth, did you hear from her at all? I know.
Okay, is that working?
Ooh, Jenny, we can't hear you now.
She hung up. I can't get her to, it's not unmuting for her. She's tried to, she logged out and then she logged back in again. So.
Yeah, twice. She's saying she did it twice. I can hear you, Betsy, but not Jenny.
Yeah. I tried to put her on my speaker.
Jenny, just call in on the phone. Just use your phone instead of the computer. She wants the number. I should be a professional lip reader. Hold on. Now I have to find the group, though. All right, Jenny, the number is 646-558. Nope, I lied. Hold on. 646-558-8656. 646-558-8656, and then call and I'll give you the meeting ID. Erica, you're just laughing. Tina. Are you ready for the meeting ID? Okay, it's 139-353-839. That's so weird because it's fully unmuted.
Can you guys hear me?
Yes.
Okay, I'm so sorry. Oh my gosh, it's not gonna work.
Danny, just close off the computer. Just stay on the phone, but close down your computer.
Okay, is this better?
No, there's a bad echo. Just close off your computer and just stay on the phone.
Okay, I can do that. You guys, I really, really apologize for that. I literally had everything pulled up and ready to roll. And so I'm just so excited to be able to introduce Erik Coover. Can you guys hear me?
Yes! Yay!
Oh my gosh! Ah! I'm so excited. Okay, I like I said, I had this whole thing set up beforehand and it was all ready to roll, and sorry about that, guys. Anyway, I'm super excited to be able to introduce Erik Coover, who is, oh my gosh, probably one of my favorite people in the entire world. And he is the director. He's actually, hold on a second. Betsy keeps calling me and it kicks me off of my screen. So he is the senior vice president. He's the senior vice president of global field development. He is the son of Jim and Kathy Coover. He was actually the team captain for the Arizona State golf team, and he built a six-figure residual income while he was in college. And you guys, the best part is he created the START movement, which to me is just, it's everything. It really took our company and blew it out of the water when he started that not too long ago. But one of my favorite things about him is that he is an amazing dancer. He has a heart of gold, and he's just the embodiment. The very best things about Jim Coover and Kathy Coover were like mashed together and they produced Erik Coover. So Erik, thank you so much for joining our call.
Hey, can everybody hear me?
Yes,
Awesome.
We can hear you perfectly. Yay!
Janny, thank you so much for that amazing introduction. It's great to see everybody's faces on this Zoom call. I love these Zooms. Love seeing everybody's ISA glow that they got going on right now. And it's such an honor to be on this call. I've been looking forward to it for a long time. And I love technology. It's always perfectly imperfect on these Zoom calls. We're rolling with it. Love it.
Thank you so much. Okay, Erik, I've got a couple of questions for you that I've been thinking through, and I grabbed some from Jess, from Betsy, and from Lauren. But here's the first question I would love to know. Tell me, what is your routine for the product? And just because we know that being a product of the product is huge. It's really usually where everybody starts out. So tell us what you do for the products. I know that I was at a meeting the other day with Tanya Kirkpatrick, and your dad went through exactly what he did for the product. And it was so fascinating because I thought I got literally 2, 3, 4 tips just listening to your dad and hearing what he did for products.
Awesome. I love talking about the products. And I think that is, such a fundamental thing. And one of the things that I love, Jay Bennett talks about all the time, and he talks about his 3-step system. And his first step is, the foundation of this is, in order to be successful, you have to use the products and you have to become your own best customer. And I always laugh when Jay says that, because he also says, you'd be surprised and amazed at how many people actually mess that step up. and so it is so crucial to make these products, a part of your life every single day. So my routine, and I've been on these products consistently now for, it's been, over 10 years now, which is crazy. But so my routine is, I wake up in the morning, first thing I have, it's like I can't wait for it. I've got my little shot glass ready, pour in my Ionic Supreme, and pound Ionics. Like, that is how I start every single day. And I think that's the key with that product, is staying consistent with it. And I literally cannot wait. It's the first thing I do, straight from the bed to the fridge, got my shot glass, Ionic Supreme. Then before I work out, I will actually have an e-shot. So I'll pound the e-shot. And typically I'll do Amp Power for pre-workout. And so I won't eat a whole lot before I work out. But after a workout, then I'll do the Isoline shake. And right now I actually have the non-dairy shake. It's ever since that shake comes out, I love that shake. So I I do the non-dairy shake. And then after the shake, I'll have my Ageless Essentials AM packs for the morning. And that kind of completes my morning for, just kind of the foundation. And then usually mid-morning around 10 o'clock, I'll have like a light snack, then I'll have a lunch. And then in the afternoon is when I'll have a second shake. And sometimes actually in the morning, it depends what kind of day I'm having. If it's like a on the go day where I'm really, really busy or I'm on the road, typically I'll have, 2, 3, sometimes I don't have time to eat any real food and I'll be having 4 shakes a day. And that's like my main fuel source. And I mean, these products are such a blessing, especially when I'm traveling, because I literally don't know what I would do if I didn't have these products when I was traveling. So I'll do a shake after lunch, usually about 2 o'clock or so. Then I'll have my second e-shot at around 2:30 for a little afternoon pick-me-up. And then I will do it, and it depends. Like I'll have, in the summer a lot, or if I'm like working out hard, I'm sipping on Amped Hydrate quite a bit throughout the day. And then at night, I have dinner, and then sometimes after dinner, I'll have another shake, and then I'll close it out with my Ageless Essentials PM packs at night. And then sometimes if I'm having trouble sleeping, I'll actually have the sleep support, but I'll have a shot of Ionic Supreme as well. And Ionic Supreme really, really has helped me sleep through the night. My sleep patterns are more consistent. And again, I think it's because I've been consistent with that product for a long time. So I would say that those are like my core staples that I have every single day. I typically do a cleanse day. I'll do like a 1-day cleanse about every 6 weeks or so, just to stay regular. I just did a cleanse day last week. But then at other time, I mean, I'll have bars throughout the day. It kind of depends on my day, but bars, fiber snacks. Again, if I'm on the go a lot, that's when I'll be using the bars and the fiber snacks and all that convenient stuff that makes my life so much easier.
Oh my gosh, that is amazing. I love it. So you guys, those are some really great tips that he just gave. And like you said, the travel, it's amazing for travel. Whenever I'm traveling, I know I have a go-to product because we all know that airport food is disgusting. And so we have really great options with Actagenics for traveling. I love that. Okay, so Erik, we know that grit is everything. And that not everybody starts with a little bit of grit, but not everybody finishes. And that lack of tenacity, endurance, persistence, and resilience, they don't have that to be able to push through. And we all know that if you don't finish, you don't win. Can you talk a little bit about the importance of grit and tenacity, endurance, persistence, and resilience, and how important that is in our business?
Man, well, I think it's probably everything. I think that, a lot of people in this, or people looking from the outside, if they look at just network marketing as a whole, sometimes you hear people a lot say, well, people in network marketing, the very few people really make, a lot of money in network marketing. And, very few people are successful. That's what you'll hear from the outside. And the reality is the same is true in life. Very few people are willing to go above and beyond and be consistent with the, just daily consistent action activities over time that is in the end going to create extraordinary results for their life. And I think that, most people just aren't willing to put in that extra strength, that extra grit, that extra tenacity. And, in this profession of network marketing, I mean, you hear Les Brown say it all the time, but it's true. You have to be hungry. You have to be hungry for change, and you have to want to dramatically impact, and change your life for the better. And this is, I mean, probably one of the only vehicles in the world that I know of where literally over the course of 90 days, 120 days, 6 months, a year, you can radically transform your health, your financial blueprint, your identity, how you're showing up in the world, your relationships. I mean, let's face it, the culture that we have in Isagenix is probably one of the greatest products that we offer. And I'm sure some people, when they got involved in Isagenix, they didn't realize that they needed to cleanse their body, but they needed to cleanse some of the toxic people out of their life as well. And that's just a natural thing that starts to happen when you start hanging out with great people. So again, this vehicle can do, I mean, it can take just the average person and have them, unlike any vehicle I've ever seen before, just allow them to take ownership of their life. Only if they approach this with 100% all-in conviction and they stay 100% conviction. Because this industry, if you're looking to really make an impact, it is painful if you're 50% in. If you're 1 foot in and 1 foot out, you know, if you're consistent for 2 weeks, but then you fall off the wagon for a month and then you're back in for 2 weeks, I mean, and it's this wishy-washy stuff, it can be painful. It can be really frustrating. I think the biggest thing that everybody has to do is they have to decide and commit one time, just one time, that they're going to do this, that they're going to radically change their life, their health, their financial situation, whatever it is in their life, and decide once. Don't decide 50 times, because that's where the pain comes in. It's much easier to just make the decision one time and go all in with all you got, with your grit, your tenacity, with your commitment level, and work on building your belief, and know that there's going to be a lot of wall kicking moments, but that's all a part of the journey. But it's much easier to commit one time than it is, you know, committing 50 times over the course of 3 years, because that is when this becomes really painful. And go on what you can commit to. If all you can commit to is working this Isagenix business 1 hour a week or 1 hour a day in the pockets of your life, you know, that's great. But make sure during that 1 hour, it may be broken out into 4 15-minute segments. Make sure that you are going all out in those 4 15-minute segments. Because a lot of people, they decide to work this business full time and they're spending, you know, 4, 5, 6 hours in their Isagenix business, but you know, their effort level is like 20 or 25%. They're spending their time scrolling social media. They're taking a picture of themselves, like, you know, making it look like they're doing something to make themselves feel better for not actually getting into action. And so I think that you can work this business part-time and go at it full out and create incredible, you know, life-changing results for you in the next 90 days and the next 6 months and the next year. But whatever time commitment you're willing to make sure you're going at it 100%, because it's a lot easier to do that than commit 50 times, like I said. Rip it off, like the chat says, Danielle.
Okay, Eric, that was amazing, and it's so true. If we put in the effort, and like you said, time blocking, I think is huge, because it doesn't feel overwhelming, and it also, you know, if you're setting timers and you're time blocking 4 15-minute calls. I know Lauren Sims is amazing at time blocking. I've seen her calendar, and she sends it to me, and I'm like, oh my gosh, you're literally booked every half hour throughout the day, and even every 15 minutes. And I've seen her production, and it works, because like you said, so many people are getting ready to get ready, and rather than just jumping in and working, because so many are overtrained and underworked. And so I love that. I love everything that you said.
That's true. And really, I mean, I want everybody to get this, that like the whole thing of like, yeah, like let's say you can only do 1 hour, your commitment is 1 hour a day to Isagenix. The whole thing where you're going to like block in your calendar, this is the time I'm going to work Isagenix, really isn't. We all know that life happens. I mean, it just rarely, I would be surprised if anybody on this call like really stayed commitment to that. Like, let's say you're going to work it from 4 to 5 p.m. Life gets messy, stuff happens, but I love what Erik Coover says, you know, work this business in 15-minute chunks. You know, it doesn't have to be that 4 to 5 time slot. It can be 10 minutes when you're on your way to work or whatever, and you make a call. That could be an income producing activity. It could be on your way home from work. It could be you got a spare 15 minutes a night where you can just rock out something, follow up with somebody, do something. And I think that working those little time blocks and chunks is more real life and more realistic than just having that like 1 hour blocked off in your calendar, because I mean, that's hard to stick to.
That's so true. And I've often told my team that when life is steady and nothing is catastrophic that's happening in your life, you need to go. You need to go hard. There's no naps. You need to work when life is steady and nothing is like falling off the face of the earth. You really need to work. So here's a question for you. Tell me what you feel like are the characteristics of the people who are good at this business, or the people who really take off and fly. What are those 4 or 5 character traits or qualities that you see in people that really are kind of the it factor or the go-to thing?
That's a good one. I would say that people who are good at this business are coachable. They're willing to learn the skills. They don't feel like they have to reinvent the wheel. They can see something and say, okay, this worked for this person. That's what I'm going to do. They don't feel like they have to come in here and reinvent the wheel. They're willing to be coachable. I think that that's a huge thing. I think that people who are really will always take responsibility for their own business and their own life and their own decisions. They're not looking for, upline motivation. They're not like, they don't need like a daily pump up call. They're self-motivated and they want this bad enough that they don't need to get motivated daily. And our job should not be to be professional motivators. We need to meet people where they're at. And so I think that if, we can't want this more for somebody, and I know it's easy to want it more for somebody than they want it for themselves, but the person, they have to want it. I mean, or else if they don't want it, they're not going to go for it. And so I think that the people who are good at this business are 100%, they take responsibility for everything in their life. They're not looking for their upline to, like, they're not making excuses saying, oh, I can't do this because of this. It's like, no, I take responsibility for everything in my life. And so I think that that's definitely another characteristic. I think somebody who is just, like we talked about, so committed to being consistent. I talk to a lot of leaders in Isogenics, and the one thing that everybody has in common, and the one thing that they're doing, they're not saying anything like differently or more articulate or anything like that, but in their activities that they're doing, they're just way more consistent with those activities. They've had way more conversations than the person who's not getting a lot of results. They've, consistently showing up at events. They're consistently doing these income producing activities to produce results over time. Because, it's just like going, to the gym. You say you want to get more muscular, more fit. You go to the gym for a week and, you don't expect to get like instantaneous results after a week. I mean, do you expect to have the body that you've always wanted after a week or a month? No, it takes consistently going to the gym, working the muscles day in and day out that causes the transformation over time that produces lasting results in your body. The same thing in your Isogenics business. There's a delayed effect that happens in this business. What we do today isn't necessarily going to show up tomorrow or a week from now or 2 weeks from now. But it's unbelievable to see when people are committed to getting into consistent action day in and day out. They may not have any results this month or next month, but then like month 3, all of a sudden, all these people start coming out of the woodwork and things start happening like this. And it's because of those 2 months that you were in action that caused all that stuff on month 3 and month 4 and month 5 to really pop. And so that gets me to what we do right now is going to set us up for what type of a 2017 we're going to have. If you decide to say, I'm not going to get in action until 2017, you're probably going to be a little slow out of the gates in 2017 because stuff's not going to happen for you until March, April, May, June. But if you decide to get into action now in November, December, January, February, that's when the stuff's going to start happening quickly. And I think that, and set yourself up for explosive 2017. And the key thing is that most people, like, you think about it, imagine if everybody on this Zoom call committed to having 3 new conversations a day, 5 days a week with strangers. If Isagenix came up, great. If it didn't, that's okay. We just became intentional with our conversations. We're going to go meet new people. We're going to add people on Facebook. Awesome. Imagine if everybody on this Zoom call did that 3 days a week, 3 conversations a day, 5 days a week. Imagine if everybody did that for the next year. Now, 3 conversations new a day really is not that hard to do. I mean, if you got intentional about doing that, it's not that hard. But it is so much easier to choose not to do it. And that's why 98% of people choose not to do it. And it's the 2, 3, 4, 5% that choose to do it that are getting the real results. I mean, there's no secrets in this business. The people who are in action are achieving the most results. And when you're in action, that's when, that's what really breeds confidence, and you start building belief in yourself. And I think it was Kelly that shared on the call earlier, she was struggling with some belief in herself. And I guarantee you, at University in Action, one of the things you start doing, you start practicing some of these skills. And Kelly, I'm sure your belief started to grow and grow and grow because you started getting action and practicing it. And so I think that that's another key characteristic in people who are good at this business, is that they're not afraid to sound bad or anything in the beginning. They don't care what it sounds like. They're just ready to get into action from day one. They don't have to be the expert. They just go out with a lot of passion and enthusiasm, and that's what's going to come across to people. People are starving to follow people with conviction and certainty. They don't really care what you're saying. They want to see what your passion, and if you're 100%, are you committed all in, or are you 1 foot out in, 1 foot out? That's what people want to see.
Gosh, Erik, I love that. And, the first point that you brought up was to be coachable. And I think that's one of the number one things that I look for, is when people will just meet, because I'm ahead of them a little bit. I've been doing this for about almost like over 8 years. And I just feel like if they just do what I say, I can take them to the moon with this company. So it's just, that coachability is huge. And then taking personal responsibility and being self-motivated, because like you said, when we can't motivate people, we can only inspire them. And also being committed to being consistent, that's huge. Working on income producing activities every single day and being consistent with that. And then what we do now is going to end up impacting and completely forecasting our success in 2017. Can you go over a little bit? You just talked about being consistent with income producing activities. What do those look like?
Honestly, how many conversations today, how many times today has the Isagenix story been told by you, by a third-party tool, by an event, by a podcast, whatever it is? I think that, so much of everybody's time just needs to be spent talking to new people and getting Isagenix in front of more people. I mean, that's the lifeblood of our business, is bringing in new customers, new associates into Isagenix. I mean, and that's when people, you think about it, when are you most excited about Isagenix? Typically, it's when you've just sponsored a new person and they're ready to go, and you just signed them up on a President's Pack, because it's like new blood, new energy, new excitement, and somebody that you can, give the gift of Isagenix to, and you can't wait to see their transformation. So I think that, recruiting and customer acquisition should always be at the top of everybody's mind, is how many times today has the Isagenix story been told? I think that is huge. The other thing that I would say is income producing activity. I'm a big believer in launch parties. I think that, I talk to a lot of leaders, and I always ask people, what's the one or two things that you can really contribute to a lot of success that you've had and some of the income producing activities? And I bet that 99% of all the people I ask that, somewhere in their answer is launch parties. I'm doing a consistent launch party every single week or once every 2 weeks, where everybody knows that they can build into this launch party. And we do it in our house. They're just so duplicatable. They're fun. They allow other people to step up, and they host the launch party, stepping other people into leadership. So I certainly think that's something. Following up with people, following up with your list, it's another income producing activity. And just realizing that just because you're having these conversations with people about Isagenix, I bet that 99% of all people who are first exposed to Isagenix, they first say no. I mean, it is very rare to talk to somebody about Isagenix for the very first time and get like an all-in yes right away. I mean, yes, it happens, but typically it's on the 4th, 5th, 6th, 7th, 8th, 20th follow-up with that person and staying persistent, staying consistent with them. That's when a lot of those enrollments start to happen. I think that such a key to this business is in the follow-up, and that's why people say the fortune really is in the follow-up. And Janny, did you say yes the first time that you were exposed to Isagenix?
Okay, you're going to die when you hear this, because I hear people say this all the time. Yes, I did. I was at a Bible study, and the people were throwing the snacks around. I knew that it had worked for 3 or 4 of the people that were in the room. And so I literally went home, looked in my closet. I was locked out of 3/4 of my closet, and I was ready. It was that timing deal. So I remember just texting the girls the next day, saying, hey, where do I get this stuff that you guys were doing? I think I'm going to try it. And then I called Cindy Hedges, and I said, hey, I want to try what my friends are doing. What is it? So I think I'm probably the only person that saw the snacks throwing around and then said yes. I just literally jumped right in.
That's good. You're the rare exception, and we love people that you love that person that says yes right away. But the vast majority of people, I bet if we polled the millionaires in Isagenix, most of them, it was on their 5th, 6th, 7th, 20th, a year later conversation. So I just think that is so crucial. And just because somebody says no to Isagenix in the get-go or in the first week or first month doesn't mean this is no forever. We have no idea what the person's going through. We always hear that timing is everything, but timing really is everything in this business. You just never know when people are ready. And I think that a lot of people, when they first talk to somebody about Isagenix and the person isn't ready yet, then the person who talked to them about Isagenix immediately feels that they did something wrong, that they have to change their pitch, and their belief gets hit a little bit. But in reality, if you just change the way you look at it, it's like, oh, okay, awesome. Well, this person's just not ready yet. I'll follow up with them in a few weeks or a month, or just consistently following up. I think that is huge. It makes the word no and this whole handling rejection a lot easier, because everybody has their time.
Hey, Eric and Janny, I wanted to just for 30 seconds pop on. Your mom, so Kathy Coover, recently sent me a PowerPoint on time management, and I'll stick it in our Facebook group, you guys, but on those income producing activities. And she was showing if you're part-time or full-time and how many days a week and what exactly it looks like. But on her income producing activities, outside of tasting parties and calling people, she literally broke it down, setting a timer and how much of it is a tech splits, how much of it is calling people, following up people, building to events, cleanse coaching, literally exactly what you're doing. It was 30 minutes texting, getting people to events, 30 minutes cleanse coaching, 30 minutes following up. And you can see how much you can get done if it's focused in those desert blocks of time. So everything you're saying is great. I just want to let you know that Kathy literally just sent me this PowerPoint, and that's awesome. And I'll upload it to our page. It's really good.
That's great.
Lauren, that is fantastic. Thank you so much for sharing that with us. That's going to be a huge, huge tool, and just a relief to know that somebody who rose to the top of 3 different network marketing companies, this is what she did. So we know that we can trust it. We know that it's going to work, and we know that it's fabulous because it's from Kathy. Okay, so Eric, tell me how do you get people to see that this is a process and that it takes time to build this business and to be able to trust the process? Can you talk a little bit about that? because I know that when I was working a lot with Kelly and her team, it was a young team. And I remember your mother saying, Janny, you need to teach your team patience. Can you talk a little bit about the trusting the process and just having patience in this?
Yeah, 100%. This is a big topic. And I think that one of the toughest habits to get into, and an easy habit to get into, is this whole comparison thing, comparing where you are to where somebody else is. You know, why isn't my business growing as fast as so-and-so? You know, it's very easy to feel deflated when you get into this comparison game. And I think that it's so important to really just realize that this is such a journey, and, you know, realizing what we have is such a big deal, and managing people's expectations at the very beginning. When you start, when somebody says, hey, I want to do this, I want to do the business, you know, really sitting down with them and setting some realistic goals with them, and let them know what's going to come. I mean, don't just, I mean, and I know probably people on this call aren't doing this, but I think that it's crucial to just say, hey, it's okay, you know, if, you know, you're going to get people that say no, you know, you're going to be, and it's so crucial to set those realistic goals for people, you know, that they feel like that they can attain and be on that journey. So I think that, again, comparison is certainly a thief in this industry, and just realizing that it is a process, it is a journey. But I would encourage everybody to just take a step back and look at all the great things that have happened in your life because of this company, and really celebrate every cycle that you are earning. Because I think a lot of people take for granted this profession of network marketing. I mean, in network, and for any of you who have ever started a business, it costs thousands, tens of thousands, hundreds of thousands, sometimes millions of dollars to start your own business. And you have to hire an IT team, you have to hire a customer service team, a finance team, you have to have a legal team, all these teams, and you have to pay those people. In network marketing, this business model, you don't have to do any of that. The company, Isagenix, we take care of all of that for you. And so look at every time you profit in Isagenix in your business. I don't care if it's a $10 PIB or, you know, a big leadership pool bonus, whatever it is. Get in the habit of celebrating it, because it is a huge deal every time you are earning income in Isagenix. And if you're not grateful for the cycles that you're earning now, you're never going to get to the 50, 100, 200, you know, max out your business center if you're not grateful for what's happening in your business and in your life right now. So I think getting in the habit every single Monday morning, and it could say, you know, you've just earned commissions of $54, and frickin' dance your face off and celebrate that, because that is such a big deal. Not enough people are doing that. I mean, you know how many people would die for literally $100 extra every single week? I mean, that's 2 cycles a week. People would, I mean, that would make a massive difference in so many people's lives. I mean, you think about an extra $500 every single month, and the pain that would relieve from so many families across the world. And so I want everybody to make a commitment that next Monday, when you see your check and whatever it is, celebrate it, because it really is a big deal. And it's so easy to just, you know, think about, well, it's just not big enough, and get into this whole thing, well, I'm not doing enough. Again, you're never going to get to where you want to go, 50, 100, 200, max out your center, if you're not grateful for the cycles and the income and the extra stuff that you're earning now. I mean, I know for me personally, if I would have never earned $1 in Isagenix, just by being on these products is worth every single dollar that I've ever spent on the Isagenix products. And I know that's true for a lot of people. And so, you know, think about your product results, think about your health, or think about the, you know, the people that you've met since you've been around, surrounded by Isagenix, the culture that you're now a part of, and now the residual income that you're earning because you're excited and passionate about sharing that with other people. And again, I just think that everybody needs to get in the habit of celebrating the income they're earning, or else it is easy to get in that comparison mode.
Gosh, Eric, that is so good. Can you talk a little bit about a gratitude journal?
Yeah, well, this is something that my mom has ingrained this in my brain since a young age, but something she's always gotten me in the habit of doing is just a great way to start your day is just, spending, I don't care if it's writing it down, like a gratitude journal. It could be doing a morning meditation and just thinking about all the incredible things that are happening in your life and what you have right now, and just writing down what you're grateful for. And this seems like a basic thing, but I guarantee you that 99% of the population is not doing a gratitude journal in the morning. And so imagine what would happen in the world if everybody was required to do a gratitude journal every single morning and started to focus in on the stuff that they have. Because again, if we don't appreciate the stuff that we have right now, and it can be something so simple. Think about how we take our legs for granted every single day. Just in our arms and our voice, and just focusing on the simple things that you're grateful for every single day is absolutely huge. And so make it a habit, not only just your isogenic stuff, but also, the simple things in life that most everybody takes for granted. Just another day waking up that, we get to, take that first breath every single morning and go outside and smell the fresh air. And because tomorrow is not promised. And I think that, it's so easy to get in this mindset I'm just going to live this, long life. If tomorrow wasn't promised, how would it change how you show up today? And I think that just having that statement as you start every single day, is a huge thing.
Oh my gosh, so much wisdom in that. It's just ridiculous. Thank you so much for all of that. Those are amazing tips for everybody on our team. Okay, we know that events are vital to building and growing. Can you give us any facts or verbiage to share with associates on why events rock your business, why they elevate it to the next level, and how important it is to get your team to events?
Okay, so if everybody were to focus on nothing that I just said or anybody has said on this call, but all you focused on was just getting as many people as you could to New Year kickoff in San Antonio, if that's all you focused on from now until January, you're like, for the next 60 days, all I'm going to do is focus on how many people I can get to that event. Everything would change. Imagine if you had 10, 15, 20 people in those seats at the next New Year kickoff. Everything would change for you, because events, the single most crucial skill that people need in this business is what Kelly said at the very beginning. It's belief. And that's why we train on it at University in Action. It's belief in the products, which is the easiest belief to get because the products work so well. It's belief in the compensation plan. It's belief in network marketing. It's belief in the company, and it's belief in yourself. And working on getting at a 10 out of 10 in all of those areas. And there's no better way to build your belief than getting to an event. You heard it from Kelly at the very beginning. The people that show up at events, their incomes are rising, their belief level is through the roof, and that's what people want to follow. People want to follow people who have 100% and are impenetrable in their belief in this business. And that's what you get when you have a team of people who are showing up at events. So now, typically it starts out, you come to an event and, you come out of that event so on fire, 10 foot tall and bulletproof. But imagine, multiplying that by 5, 10, 15, 20 times by the amount of people that you're getting to that event. Now you've got a whole army of people who are just so excited, so passionate. And it's just the foundation of this business. And I think that, again, if you were just to focus on one activity, getting people to the next ICU, New Year kickoff, celebration, whatever the event is, I think we should always be building to an event 90 days out and just focusing on the next big event, because the event always delivers. You never hear people come out of an event and they never say, oh, I'm so glad I came to that event because, I finally understand why I should take this shake every day. No people say that. They say, I'm so glad I came to this event because I caught the vision. That's exactly what they say. And they get on fire and their belief level goes through the roof. And because of that, people you just become like a magnet and you start showing up in the world differently, and people start coming out of the woodwork because you're showing up differently, and we attract exactly who we are. And so, I mean, it's so crucial, and it should be a clue that you, Janie, Betsy, Jessica, Lauren, I mean, you're not showing up at events alone. I mean, I'll never forget when Lauren showed up. It was a couple of years ago at a New Year kickoff event, and it was her. She came up at the end of the event with 5 or 6 ladies, and we're all racing the Crystal Executive. And then the next event, she probably had 20 people. And the next event, she had 50. And it just keeps building and building. That's where this business gets really exciting. So events, if you really want to do this, the events are mandatory. They really are.
Well, and I think they show you who you should be working with, because I always tell people I'm working with the people who are going to events, because you'll walk out of there 10 feet tall and bulletproof with your on everything about the product, everything about the business, and you're going to see the culture. You're going to see positive people. You're going to see people who are literally they are working. They're working this business. I remember at my first event, I looked around the room. And I remember just taking it all in, and I just thought, these are just really, really ordinary people just like me. And if they can do this, I can do it. And so it really gives you power. It gives you posture. It gives you confidence that you can't get just from talking to me on the phone or even Zoom calling with me. You need to be corporate trained. So I always tell people I'm working with the people who are going to events. So can you give us any advice on how to finish this 90-day game plan and stay in momentum over the holidays?
Well, I would say that, the 2 biggest New Year's resolutions people have that they start thinking about it at the holidays, they start thinking about it, when the holidays are over, people are looking for, they're looking to get healthier, and they're looking to earn a little extra. And so just look at yourself as the person who's going to plant the seeds in their brain on how they're going to start out 2017 different. I mean, I think, to be honest with you, I think New Year's resolutions are kind of lame, but I really do think that, if people are going to enroll in New Year's resolutions anyway. And so in November and December, it's, what we do now is going to show up in 2017. And it's just about going back to the basics. How we get back into momentum, how do we get our business into momentum, is by getting back to the basics. Using the products consistently, talking to people, using the tools, doing the launch parties, and being consistent. And I think that knowing that, so just make a commitment. How many new people are you going to share Isagenix with over the holidays so you can set them up for their New Year's resolutions? Talk to them about the IsaBody Challenge. There's no better way to start out the new year than enrolling new people who have no idea what Isagenix is, than in the IsaBody Challenge, and really helping them stay accountable to their New Year's resolutions that they're setting, because people are looking, around this time. So the question is, are they going to turn to us, or are they going to turn to somebody else? And it's all about the conversations that we're having now that's going to determine the result of that. So again, it's just about having the conversations over the holidays.
Well, and what's amazing is that I joined in December. So when people say, oh, nobody's joining in December, I said, really? I said, I looked at this and I thought I could see what was ahead. And I thought, if I don't get a hold of this right now, I'm going to end up 10 pounds heavier by the time January 1st comes around. And I thought, I'm going to jump on these products and be able to at least maintain. And I actually lost. I lost, 4, 5, 6 pounds, over the holidays. So it can be done. And the really cool thing is that Lauren Sims and Jessica Rigner were both top enrollers globally in December when they first started out. They enrolled 35 plus people in December. So when people say, well, nobody wants to join in December, I said, really? There's so many people that go crazy in December. And I remember hearing your mother saying that she always, the 2 slow months in network marketing are usually August and they're December. And she said, I was always the top enroller for those 2 months because I wanted to show people it can be done.
Exactly.
So Yeah, so it's not a big deal. So 2016 has been just an epic year, and there's been so many great things that are coming down the pipe for 2017. What fires you up, and what are you most excited about?
Oh man, I mean, we have. I wish everybody could get a little peek under the curtain about what we're about to launch at New Year Kickoff to begin the year in 2017. We have been working around the clock to get a lot of this stuff done, and to be honest with you, I mean, this is, we've experienced explosive growth over the last 3 years. This past year, 2016, I mean, we're certainly growing, but it's been a challenging year. We've certainly faced some adversity. We've gone through some challenges, but those challenges have only brought us closer together. They've allowed us to look at all the stuff that we're doing, what's working, some of the stuff that may not be working. And I think that coming out of 2017, you're going to see a very simplified message, and keeping things simple. I mean, our number one initiative for 2017 is going to be to enhance and simplify the customer experience. So we're working on simplifying the enrollment process, which I know everybody is very, very excited about. I'm going to be honest. I mean, when you enroll somebody right now, it can be a little bit painful. It's a tedious process. We're working on simplifying that process. We're working on new ISA movies that are coming out. We're going to have a brand new experience Isagenix video that's going to be launched at New Year Kickoff. We're working on different solution videos for isamovie.com. We're working on a new Are You Toxic video that's not going to be called Are You Toxic? So we're going to gear everybody with all the right tools that are updated, and they're going to get people out of the gates fast. But I think so much of the stuff that is coming, we've been working on for the last year. We're excited to unveil it. We're also getting ready to launch a brand new isagenix.com website, brand new look and feel functionality that, is going to be off the charts, exciting. But I think, where we're going, again, we want to be known as the company that has an engaged and simplified, enhanced customer experience. We really want to strengthen our global performance around the world. I mean, it's no secret, I'm sure you've probably seen on Facebook, that in 2017, we're going to be expanding into some of Europe. We're going to be we're going to be opening up in the UK in 2017, which is very exciting for us. But also making sure that we're focusing and strengthening all the markets that we're in currently right now. We're open in 12 markets around the world. So we're going to be working on that. We're going to be working on product innovation and education, which is huge for us. We're a product-driven company. And again, all this work is being kind of done behind the scenes, but it's because of the conversations that we're all having, that you are all having out in the field, that is going to spread the word of Isagenix. And in 3, 5, 7, 10 years, Isagenix is going to become a household name because of the work that we're all collectively doing together. And so when in 5 or 10 years, when people think about getting healthier and really living a more purposeful life, they're going to turn to us because of all the work that's being put in right now. And we're building the foundation for that. And I hope that everybody really realizes that, because it's so special what we have. And the world needs what we have. So, I mean, we've got there's a big presidential election tomorrow. And it's funny, you hear a lot of the politicians talk about, some of the things that they want to change. And you just think about it, everything that they talk about, people could just take ownership in their life of and do it through Isagenix. Whether it be better health, taking ownership of their life financially, so they don't have to rely on politicians trying to do it for them. Because it's up to us. If we want to create change, we have to change.
Oh my gosh, amazing, amazing, amazing. And you just dropped some amazing genius about this company and where it's going. Tanya Kirkpatrick at her fast track, this is the last question, and because we're just about at the top of the hour, and she talked to your dad about where do you think, when do you, like the next 3 years, the next 3 to 5 years, the projection and kind of where this company is going. what are you most excited about, and what do you see in the next 3 to 5 years for Isogenics?
I think what I just said. I mean, I see Isogenics as becoming a household name. I mean, when people, in 3 to 5 years, I mean, people think about going and buying a computer or a phone, they're probably going to go buy Apple. When they think about jumping on an airplane, they may think about Delta or Virgin America. When they think about going and buying a pair of shoes or athletic gear, they're probably going to turn to Nike. But because of the work that we're putting in now with our products, with our customer experience, with our compensation plan and showing people how to get their products paid for, through our culture, what people are just starving for every single day. When people think about in 3, 5, 7, 10 years, when people think about living a more purposeful life and a more healthy life, they're going to turn to us. And that's where we're going. I mean, I see it as being a norm to be walking down the streets and watching people shake their Isogenic shaker, out in public, pounding their shake. I mean, this is just going to become a norm. We see it. We've gone from small to big, and it's, started to happen over the last 3 or 4 years. We're just going to continue to build on that momentum for generations to come. I mean, we're just in our infancy right now. We've been around for only 14 years. I mean, you think about what we've done in 14 years to impact lives. Think about where we're going to be, in the next 14 years, and how everybody on this call is going to benefit from that, through their health, through their finances, and through really the gift of contribution and helping more people.
Gosh, and to think that we're all a part of this is so amazing, Erik. We're so thankful for you, for your family, for you guys saying yes, for you giving up so much of your personal time to be able to pour into the company, to be able to pour into us is amazing. That we have access to the company owners, and just that this is a legacy business and a legacy company that this is going to be going on for generations and generations and generations. So I'm so excited about that. Thank you so much for taking your time and for giving us, almost 40 minutes of your brilliance. We're so, so thankful, Erik.
Hey, thank you, Jani. Thank you so much for your leadership and everything that you do, and just everybody on this call. I mean, we're just, you guys are the lifeblood of Isogenics, and we're just so grateful for everything that you're doing. And I just hope everybody knows how special it is what we have, and it's going to be exciting to watch the impact that we make for a long time.
Hey, Erik, don't hang up. I want to unmute everybody so you can really hear all the love. There's so many people on this call. We had people get together in groups, so I want you to just hear it from everybody, okay? But I got to unmute them all. You guys, there's some love.
Thank you. Thank you.
So many great words of wisdom.
So good. So good.
Awesome.
So great.
Love
it.
Thank you, guys.
Thank you. Yeah,
I guess
thank you.
the real question is, would I be able to hold on to one of them, or do you have to turn them both on? Okay, then it doesn't matter. Then
I'm just going to go back to muting everybody. It's a little safer. Erik, thank you so much. Jani, are you still there? I probably muted her because I muted everybody. Jani, are you there?
Yes, I'm here. Can you hear me?
Yes, we can hear you. So you guys,
Awesome.
Oh my gosh, so
Lauren,
good, right?
Lauren,
So amazing.
Lauren, I was just going to talk to you really quick. So why don't we do a call next week where I'm able to kind of share some of the things that I have written down, and we can all four maybe kind of share and wrap up this last part of the 90-day game plan next week, since it's already almost, about 6:10.
Okay, perfect. So I messaged her because we had Erik for so long. I said, are you still training tonight? Am I going to introduce you? So you guys, week 12 is technically the end of the 90-day game plan. But if you go in the back office, there is a week 13, and it's kind of great. Exactly what Jani said, some of her stuff she wants to roll with. And then Betsy and Jess and I and Jani, we were all messaging through the call right now that we also want to just kind of share with you some tips on how to build through the holidays. When Jani brought that up about how we built like crazy in December, I found the podcast that Kirsty Cody, who's John Anderson's son, interviewed Jess and I, asking about how we built in the holidays. So we're going to put that out there, but we will do one more week so you guys can end on a high note with Janny training this next week, and we'll kind of fire you up and stay strong into the holidays. So Erik, thank you so much. Janny, thank you for the brilliant interview. Betsy, Jess, thank you guys for all your love and the teams getting everybody on here, and have so much fun, you guys. Kill it, week 12. We love you.
Love you guys.
Hey, Lar, before we go, we got to do one more thing.
We're ready. We missed you.
You ready?
Go, girl.
Yes, we can. Yes, we can. Yes, we can. Yes, we can. Awesome, guys. Thank you.
Bye, girl. See you guys.
Bye, guys.
Bye. Only people we saw yesterday.